Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast, Fruit Edition.
This is a fruit edition,
This
right?
is a fruit edition.
Obviously. Yeah, I brought two beers from Systembolaget.
Yeah.
The first one is a local beer. We've talked in the past about previously Danish, now Swedish brewery Rocket Brewing. Mm-hmm. How they've combined forces with Fruktstereo, the cider makers from southern Sweden, and have kind of become Fruktrocket. Kind of. So this is one of their beers. It's in a small, nice bottle with a very clean look. Mm-hmm. I mean, the labeling is really nice.
No, I think they do really nice labeling, and they always kind of catch your eye on the shelf, and you're like, "Oh, what is that?" I can't say I've tried many of their beers, but the ones I have tried, I believe I've enjoyed quite a bit.
So it's called Fruktinger Plum, and I'm reading here, and it says that they are from Malmö even, not just from southern Sweden. Fruktinger Plum is a wild fruit beer fermented with fresh plums and barrel-aged in red wine barrels from Klaus Preisinger in Gols. Store standing upright, dark and cold, blah, blah, blah. Ingredients, water, plums, and grapes.
Okay, so...
And it comes in at 6% ABV.
I think their facilities are out in the harbor area.
Makes sense.
Right on the other side of the train tracks.
There is an address, Nubgatan 5. We would need to look that up afterwards. but this one, they have a problem, and that's untapped, because the drinkers don't understand what the product is. So often, and this is the case, multiple products are created. So there's one for Rocket Brewing, there's one for Fruktstereo, and someone would need to create it for Fruktrocket. That's the problem.
Well, I can understand why this would be Frukstereo, because it technically says Frukstereo on the back.
Yeah, but then it says Fruktrocket on the label as well.
Yeah. And then it says its wort is made from Rocket Brewing.
Yeah, so it's all three wrapped in one. It's a quite dark peach. It looks kind of like iced tea.
Sure.
Peach iced tea.
Sure, why not? It smells good though. It has a nice kind of wild ale-ish smell to it.
Let's see if it actually has some funk. I would want it to have a little bit of funk.
I won't be surprised if it does, but hey, that could be exciting.
Cheers. Quite acidic.
It is quite acidic. It's like sour fruity.
Yeah.
Like
slight notes of it's nowhere near a Flemish red, but it has some notes of nail polish remover.
little varnishy kind of acetone. I guess.
I do get some plum. I get the plums.
I get the acetone flavor you're talking about.
But it's super slight.
Yeah, if you like I said, if you hadn't, I probably would have gotten it on maybe the second or third taste, but it didn't initially hit me. But for me, it tastes kind of like almost like a lemon water.
Oh,
It's kind of thin. It doesn't really have a lot of flavor, or at least nothing that I could is really distinct for me.
no.
And it just is. I don't know. It's kind of slight. I don't really have much to say about it. 'Cause for me, there's not much to say here.
No. The grapes, I can't. I guess the grapes are just there for body, volume, whatever.
Yeah, probably. Just to add an extra level of flavor to it. But I don't think... You said this is from plums, right?
Yeah.
I don't get plum off of this. I don't think plum.
I mean, plums that you would pick in here in Sweden, they're very sweet. Extremely sweet.
Right, but this isn't that.
Exactly.
That's why I don't think plum here.
So when I need to search for plum flavor, I can't search for that sweet, ripe plum.
This is almost like unripe plums, which are more...
Yeah.
bitter, not bitter, but sour.
Yeah, ones that you plucked from a tree before they're really ready.
Yeah, it's more like that kind of plum. But like the carbonation's really not working for me. There's no life in this to make me want to enjoy it further or have more than just kind of the cursory taste.
No, I am actually a bit pleasantly surprised with rocket beers. I've had some that I wasn't a big fan of, but this is better than I expected it to be.
All right. So what do you give this one?
Maybe a 3.25.
Oh,
maybe even a 3.5.
All right. I am going to give this a 3.
Yeah, so we're not that far from each other.
Yeah.
Oh, we were expecting it's a 4.5?
No, I wasn't expecting a 4.5, but
I have now stopped collecting Fontainen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm changing my collection entirely. All right.
Fire sale on the beer cellar.
Finally, get rid of all that trash.
Exactly. Lowest bidder wins.
That's the way it should be. Race to the bottom.
Like selling a child.
It's like, yep. Whatever.
Lowest
bid gets it, huh?
That is how they did it in the past.
What?
When young children were adopted off, orphaned, not really orphaned, the parents still lived, they would be auctioned off to the lowest bidder. But that bidder would then take on the responsibility of feeding the child and giving it roof.
Yeah.
But it's a sad chapter in history.
So would you start at $10 and work down from there, or
who's willing to? You would get money to take the child.
So
you would get this child and $10, and someone would say, "I can take the child and give it food and shelter, but I only want $9."
Okay. You also in the U.S. you used to be able to send children through the mail.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was
in little cages.
Honestly, it's the 1800s probably. Who knows? But 1900s, early 1900s, child labor laws and child protections weren't really what they are today.
No.
But yeah, no, you used to be able to, and I don't know how long that lasted. It didn't last terribly long, because you could put them on a train and then ship them to places where, I don't know if it was family or orphanages or other places where you did, I don't know. But yeah, it's a weird thing. Look it up.
So this is no longer a beer podcast. It is now a child selling and child shipping podcast.
Yep, the way it should be.
So let's go to the other beer. It's from Canada.
Speaking of Canadians.
Exactly. It's from Collective Arts, and it is a mango lime jalapeno gose at 5.6% ABV, and this is limited release. That might be because jalapeno beers, anyone who makes those an all-round are gonna go bust. They're gonna go bankrupt.
I was chili beers are usually not high sellers to begin with, but I find that jalapeno is particularly egregious in in beer, normally because it's such a raw green pepper kind of So, habanero can be really fruity on its own.
Yeah.
But mixed in with beer, the green bell pepper kind of notes really come out. And
you wouldn't make a green bell pepper beer. But
although it smells like they did.
But it looks kind of beautiful. It's very clear yellow, like orange juice in the morning.
There's definitely a pulpy, orange juicy kind of note to this, and it coats the glass really well with a film. It does smell like mango. Mixed with vegetables, like I said, it's like mango and bell pepper.
The aroma is extremely vegetal.
Yeah, it's tough. But there's definitely jalapeno in there. Well, the good news is the mango comes through pretty clear,
and the lime has a clear presence in the taste.
Yeah, it's almost. And then the jalapeno has a slight bit of burn on the back of the tongue.
But it's very slight.
Which is what you would expect from...
Yeah.
Which is what you would want. You don't want this to come out and just be like...
Fire and brimstone.
Yeah. You drink to there was this Cave Creek, is this brewery out of the U.S. I don't know if they're still around or not, but they had this thing called a chili beer, and it had a serrano pepper in each one of the bottles, and that was just hot sauce. You would it just wrecked your palate. So fortunately, this isn't that. This is actually not a surprisingly tastes better than it smells beer.
Yeah, I think Cave Creek chili beer was a chili beer with actual chili fruits in the bottle. And many years ago, I arranged a tasting, and I wasn't the one who had bought or brought the Cave Creek chili beer. So as I'm pouring it, and back then we didn't pass bottles around. Everyone would just line up the bottles and let me pour because they didn't want to do the wrong thing. I don't know.
Etiquette was different back then.
Now, it wasn't etiquette. I genuinely didn't want to do it like that because whenever I did it wrong, they complained, and whenever I did it right, they were like, "Yeah, we expected you to do it
that way every time,
100%." But this stupid Cave Creek chili beer, I wasn't aware of the presence of a chili in it. So when I'm pouring it and it goes, floop, it scares me to that degree. It's like a reaction like in the original Alien movie, where I go blah and I knock over glasses and stuff because the last thing I'm expecting is some gnarly, disgusting looking thing poking out of the bottle. And they made fun of me for many years.
I'm sure. And you should buy in a 6-pack. So I don't know if you remember what it tasted like, but I think we got through half of one beer, and we were like, "What the fuck do you do with the rest of these things?" The other 5.5 of these things. This is horrible.
Cave Creek chili beer, original. Ooh, from Cervecería Mexicana. I gave it a 0.5.
Yep, that sounds about right. I don't remember many beers from 20 years ago, but that one has literally scarred my memory as a hot sauce bomb. Oh, that's not even what it looked like when I had it.
Do you think it's the same?
Yeah, no, it's the same beer, but they've changed their label over the years, it looks like. Because I think what I remember it looking like was more like...
I mean, now we're looking at a picture of the bottle.
Pictures of the bottle
with the floating chili, and it's so apparent. But if you're not... it also looks like a severed finger.
It does.
A pickled severed
does look
finger.
Like that. What was the thing with the toe? I think it was an Irish thing. The severed toe you would put in a beer, and then you would... I don't remember if it was a gag or it was for luck or whatever. Anyway, there was a bar.
Yeah.
And then you would drink the beer with the severed toe in it.
Yeah.
Traditions.
Oof.
Really covered a lot of ground today with odd stories.
That's why our listeners keep listening to us. Because we constantly go off the rails for their amusement. Well, my mouth is watering from this. That has to be the acidity, right? That's the lime.
Yeah. It's probably the lime and the mango combo. The saltiness comes through from the gose part. Honestly, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it actually is.
Surprisingly, I keep drinking. I keep wanting to drink more. There's a lot of flavor going on here in ways I did not anticipate.
The aroma still has that green bell pepper.
Oh, the aroma's horrible.
That's not a good thing.
No, but the flavor is just one of the better mango beers I can actually say I've tried. I really get the mango part, and this probably helped with the lime. I would think.
I think so.
Because it elevates what's kind of... Mango's usually, for me, a bit of a subtle flavor in beer. Usually it's a background note. But I think the lime is helping it come forward a little more. And then the habanero is just kind of a nice extra little bit. Not habanero, jalapeno is a nice little extra bit in the end.
Ooh, habanero.
Habanero. Muy caliente.
Muy caliente.
I would give this I'm going to go with 3.5.
Yeah, but I think I'm on a low 3.75. Somewhere between 3.5 and 3.75. Because that's also because of the shock factor, where the nose put my expectations so far down that the flavor is then so wildly exceeding those expectations.
I can completely see that and agree with your summation there, because it is to smell it is to dread its existence. Yeah. But then you taste it and go, ooh, this is a really nice combo of... It's almost like a spicy mango margarita kind of.
Exactly. Now we're sharing this. I would be quite interested to know if you had the entire can by yourself, would it build up to an actual chili heat? Because for me, it's not.
I don't know that it would. It's just kind of like slightly spicy in the background, which is really nice because the more that I sip it, I don't go like, oh, this is just more and more heat. It's just always just kind of slightly there in the background, but never really overpowering. So
I agree.
I think it would depend on how fast you drink it. So if you take, if you just kind of leisurely enjoy it, because this is to me not a chuggable beer.
No.
This is and I think about the time you're kind of like, the spiciness is starting to drift away. I think I need a refresh there.
Yeah.
I think you'll be quite happy. I do really like the color. It's really beautiful. And I really like Collective Arts. I think they usually do pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I make an effort to always buy their new stuff at Systembolaget, but I seldom see them at like web shops.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
No idea actually.
But yeah, we get it. I wouldn't say a lot, but pretty regular.
Yeah.
Shipment. We always have Radio in the Mothership on the shelf.
Yep.
Which changes cans quite frequently, so I'm always like, "Ooh, there's a new." No, it's the same thing I've already had 3 times in 3 different cans.
Exactly.
But yeah, Collective Arts always pretty enjoyable. So yeah, I think that's all we got this episode.
It's a nice beer.
Definitely. Thanks for bringing these. It was a lot of fun to try.
Yeah.
You can find us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you find podcasts, you can find What's on Tap. So until next time,
Keep drinking it, dum dum.